Hey guys, Red Pen Running here. Hope you're doing well, having a really great day. This video, okay, I wanted to talk to you guys about something regarding, I guess, my servers that I got in. I think it's been like a month now, and yes, I know it's been a while. I haven't gotten my servers up yet, except for one is working. But I know a lot of you guys have been saying, Red Panda, when the heck are you gonna get your servers up? And I know, but I've been waiting for literally one part and it's been killing me. Okay, so that's why I haven't been able to get my servers up, is because I was waiting for one part, and I'm gonna show you guys that today. But I also want to express, why getting into, I guess, AI, quote unquote AI, which is, getting GPUs and then renting them out, utilizing, kind of enterprise grade style servers, not like Octominers or regular computers, because clients want this kind of stuff, but it's not easy, okay? And to acquire all this stuff, to acquire all the parts required for getting into this whole AI compute GPU rental thing, it's not easy, and I just wanted to talk about that today in this video with you guys. So, perfect segue to today's sponsor. Enterprise AI is the biggest money story of the decade, and it's been closed to you until now. Terra Compute builds enterprise-grade dual epic GPU servers. After 3 years of R&D at their own data center, Terra Compute is now open for business. Hosted in their own data center at a former US military base in Indiana on a locked utility rate no marketplace can touch. You buy, we host, no monthly fees, we rent it to enterprise buyers who pay a premium, and you earn more than the regular platforms currently out there. If we don't rent it, we don't get paid. Write the whole purchase off with Section 179, and at the end of your contract, if you're not happy, we ship the server to your door. You own real hardware, real data center, fast deployment, real returns. Inquire through a special form, link in the video description below. Terra Compute, infrastructure as a service. Okay, are my SimplePod.ai rigs rented? Yeah, somewhat. No. One of my 3090s are not rented, and then looks like 6 of my 3060s are rented right now. Okay, so that's all well and good. Looks like they're not utilizing full power. Yeah, the power of my 3060s. Nobody's using the power of my 3060s. So this is the power of, I guess, GPU rental that I've found. My 3 gigabit internet, it shows I have 3 gigabit up and down. Now, just to see my Vast rigs. Okay, half of them are not rented. So what's happened from what I've seen is Pearl has definitely crashed down. And I remember when Pearl mining was really good last week, all of my rigs on SimplePod was rented. I also had higher pricing, but yeah, that's, I guess, one of the things regarding this whole AI rental, GPU rental thing. It's swung quite a bit over the past month. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. Okay, let's talk about my servers and what it's taken me to get to this point. I know you guys are saying in the comments or thinking right now, Red Panda, you're so slow setting up all this stuff, and I have no excuses. I'm not even gonna go there. I mean, I'm a one-man show. I have so many responsibilities. I have to make a lot of videos, other obligations, whatever. Who cares? Nobody cares. So I've been waiting for one part for my servers. So I've gotten everything from the RAM to the U.2 drives to the, actually some of the different drives that I needed, the U.2 adapters, processors I've changed out, okay, from the Xeon Bronze to Xeon Golds, 6152s. I've acquired some of the GPUs. I ordered in a bunch of cables, which thank you to infinitecables.com. They sent me the whole massive box here of acquired C19, C20, and C13 to C19 or C20 cables that I needed because my PDUs, I needed specific cables for them. And then of course, can't forget acquiring the servers. But the biggest hurdle I've been waiting for is in this box right here. Okay, this freaking box I've been waiting for about 2 weeks now, and I ordered, let me take it out here. I'm holding my camera, not doing the POV, but look at these. These are all freaking adapters, okay, for the EPS, all right, EPS to PCIe, or sometimes EPS, or the new 12 HPWR power connector, which mainly that's why I've been waiting, is these GPUs have that new connector. So this is what I've been waiting for. Freaking EPS to PCIe. I got dual EPS ends to that HPWR 12H, that new 16-pin connector. Then I have more different style to single EPS. So single EPS to this 16-pin connector. I'm gonna use these ones for like the 3070s or maybe some 40 series cards or even some 50 series cards that are not like 5090s, 4090s, you know. Obviously the single EPS, that would not power, you know, a single 4090, but that's just meant for the lower end cards. That's why I bought a few of those. Okay, so I just want to see if these actually work. Okay, this is what I've been waiting for, and that's why I haven't been able to install, you know, any GPUs or get any of the servers up. Okay guys, so just get off my back. All right, get off my back. I basically spent like $1,000 on these cables. I have a lot of different cables, EPS to PCIe. I bought essentially 4 different type of cables for varying GPUs. Okay, so apparently these are for gigabyte servers. That's what they said on the website I ordered from moddiy.com. Okay, so that's the website I ordered from, not sponsored, but looks like, yeah, looks like it fits. There we go, yeah, it looks like it fits perfect. Okay, so they're a little bit long, right? That's gonna be longer than normal, but that's okay. And looks like they fit into, yeah, the 3070s, no problem. So that out of the way, you guys understand as to why I've been waiting. Okay, I guess the cables, like these were my final thought, like the last thing I thought about. I didn't know that they were EPS to begin with. Not reverse EPS like with the Octominers, these are EPS, okay? So I didn't know that until I got them in, and then later on I'm like, oh wait, I need adapters or different cables and whatnot. So that's been basically why I've been waiting to get majority of my other servers up, and yeah, so just so you guys know. Okay, but there's, you know, I just wanted to explain, kind of expand on getting into this for anyone that's wanting to do this. And I don't really recommend majority of people, I don't think is going to get into this anyway, because you need a few things. Okay, so power infrastructure is one of them. All right, it's kind of paramount to have if you're gonna be going at scale, which I'm small fry here. Okay, I'm nothing huge. I only have 3 30 amp circuits, 3 30 amp 240 volt circuits right there. And then I have 2 40 volt PDUs, which I wish these were all C19s, but they're C13s, so that's what I can use. I do have a few here that I can use because the servers that I have do have the power input on them are these 3. Okay, C19, C20. All right, so this is what I need to power for each server. So yeah, infrastructure is very important if you're gonna be getting into something like this at a scale. Again, I'm small scale. Second thing, before you get into all this, which I think is, I'm gonna say the biggest hurdle for majority of people is gonna be the networking, okay? This alone is quite a big expense, and also you need to have knowledge in doing this type of stuff. Not very many people out there, or I'm gonna say 99.999% of people out there don't understand networking. You know, I'm not saying I'm an expert. You know, I've been in IT over the past like 20 years, so I have a little bit of knowledge, but just, you know, networking is paramount when it comes to doing anything, GPU rental, AI, all that stuff. You need to do some port forwarding. You need to have VLANs, because you are renting these to people outside of your network, and then they're having access to your internal network. So having a VLAN will be able to give you the ability to separate your AI server within that subnet so that it doesn't have access to the other LANs in your network. Let's say your Wi-Fi, your, I don't know, admin VLAN, your gaming VLAN, whatever. You know, you just want to make sure that people that are accessing your stuff, just in case they don't have access to your other stuff in your same network. Okay, so this is one of the biggest things I think the majority of people are probably not going to do. And for those that are going to be getting into this GPU rental thing, especially at you know, the bigger platforms or private platforms, they do require this. And also you need fiber internet. Okay, fiber internet is also paramount to getting, you know, rented, because people that are renting, they want, you know, fast internet. You got to have upload, not like 50 upload. I don't think that's enough. Some say that's enough for Vast, but I don't think so. I think having fiber is the most important thing. So networking, all right, that's incredibly important when it comes to this. And I'm in the whole Ubiquiti ecosystem, so I know that this stuff is not cheap, and you know, but prosumer, majority of people can get into this, and it's actually not that hard to use. But there's tons of content on YouTube on how to set this all up, how to create VLAN, how to do port forwarding, you know, how to, you know, do all that stuff. It's really not that hard, but if you've never done it before, then it's gonna be a bit of a hurdle, and you're gonna have to learn, do a lot of learning, like I have. Okay, number 3. So the third thing here is, if you're getting into the whole GPU rental thing, I believe, and some may say, you know, it all depends which platform you're on, and you're right, there's Salad, there's Vast, there's SimplePod, there's a bunch of other ones out there, but you guys can see that I've gone the server route. All right, these are, I mean, these are like 6 to 7 year old servers. They're not high end by any means. These are generation 3 PCIe Gen 3 PCIe slots. So they're not Gen 4, they're not Gen 5 for 5090s or 4090s, whatever. These are not the latest and greatest. But one of the biggest reasons as to why I acquired these was I got them for a really good deal at about $500 each. So acquiring the servers themselves, including the motherboards, the processors, the RAM, the hard drive, and then getting the GPUs. Let me expand on that. All right, so acquiring the servers themselves, just the bare bones servers, and you know, getting the motherboard and the power supplies with them as well. You know, buying these types of things, it's not cheap. Okay, so this is another hurdle I think majority of people are probably not going to attain into unless, you know, someone like, you know, Terra compute, which you can buy their whole setup, including the GPUs, and they'll even host it and rent it out for you. You guys saw their ad in the beginning of the video, so go check them out, link down below if you want to acquire more info. Let them know that Red Panda sent you if you guys do decide to inquire. But acquiring the servers, especially these days, it's not an easy task, and sometimes just a simple server, especially if you're going to go for Gen 5 PCIe, you know, AMD Epics, you know, just the server itself could cost upwards to about 10 to 15 to 20 grand, not including the RAM, the hard drive, and the GPUs. So with these servers that I got in, for those that haven't been following me, I've had to upgrade the CPU. So they initially came with Xeon Bronze, like 8 core or 4 core, 8 threads CPUs, which obviously I don't think is enough for, you know, AI compute. So I upgraded the CPUs, and thank goodness I was able to find on eBay the Xeon Gold 6152s for about 24 bucks each. So I ordered like 22 of them, or 20 of them. I have 2 spares, so 20 of them, because they're dual CPUs in each of these servers. And so that was one of the first things I did to upgrade these servers from Xeon Bronze to Gold. So that's like the first part. Then the second part of that was to acquire the RAM for these servers, which is going to be DDR4, I think between 2133 megahertz to 266.6. And so I have a lot of RAM here. I've bought them from a few people. I also took off from my old Octaminer servers. So I have 32 gig sticks and 16 gig sticks that I think I have enough to populate in all of these to get about 128 and sometimes 256 gigabytes of RAM in each server. Because with, you know, AI compute, they say you need to have at least the same amount of RAM per GPU VRAM. So you do need to match that when you decide to build something like this for putting on the platforms, right? So processors, RAM. The second part is the hard drives. Okay, so this is another huge added expense. Not only, you know, RAM is obviously very expensive right now, but I mean storage is also very expensive as well. So I just acquired only 2 of these from eBay. These Intel U.2 drives, 2 terabyte edition drives, which I don't know, I bought these for about 450 Canadian, so that's like what, 300 USD or something. And the storage, man, it's so hard to get. It's not cheap. And so these servers that I got, U.2 drives, work with these, so that's why I got those. Then I did get a bunch of these StarTech U.2 to NVMe adapters. So these I can plug into the server U.2, right? But then I can connect a NVMe drive to it. All right, so a little bit more, I would say. I don't know if it's cost effective because U.2 drives, or sorry, M.2 drives are also very expensive right now. So yeah, I mean, depends how you look at it, but I'm gonna say that these drives are probably more enterprise grade than if I were to go the M.2 way, getting like a gaming M.2 drive. it costs, I think, roughly the same as 2 terabyte NVMe against a gaming 2 terabyte M.2. So that's another thing you got to worry about regarding your servers is the storage. The storage is very important. A lot of people say to get at least 2 terabytes or more. Other people say get at least a 4 terabyte drive, but those things are extremely expensive right now, upwards to about $1,000 each. So another added expense. Now, going into probably the most expensive part is going to be the graphics cards. Okay, so you guys have been seeing me over the past week acquire some GPUs. I've traded some Bitcoin miners for them. I got 3080s there, more 3080s over there, 3070s, and more 3070s here. These GPUs are not high performance, whatsoever. I'm not trying to go for the biggest and greatest, most expensive 5090s ever, which 5090s are over like $5,000 or something now, or $4,000. And I wanted to go the more kind of cost-effective route. This whole thing that I've been doing has been like the cost-effective route. And the reason why mainly the reason why I've been going this route is because initially I got the offer to buy these for $500 each, so about $5,000 for 10 servers. But SimplePod is the platform that I'm going on. Link down below if you guys want to try it out. It's a great platform. I think it's better than Vast.ai in terms of like the Docker system and choosing the images and getting a system rented. It's very easy, very fluid versus Vast. I found, I don't know, you guys tell me, but they told me that they needed some 30 series cards, and so I'm the one that's gonna try and fulfill that demand on their platform and see how that goes. Now, some of you are gonna ask, Red Panda, why aren't you gonna go on like, let's say Vast.ai with these servers? Well, I could. I don't think there's any problem with me doing that, but actually if you just go to hashrate.no, you can see the occupancy rate for, let's say 3070s, 3080s, 3090s, any GPU for that matter. And I mean, it's not bad. I could probably be rented on Vast.ai if I put them on there, but I'm gonna try SimplePod. SimplePod.ai seems to be good for me there thus far, knock on wood, but it all depends on the demand, right? Really, any platform that I'm on or any platform that anyone is on, there's no, guarantee that you are gonna get rented fully, and so this is something where, again, I'm going the more cost-effective route. I should do a video on, how much money have I spent on everything, this whole setup, just see how much money that I'm into all this right now, RAM, CPUs, GPUs, cables, power cables, everything, right? Honestly, I feel like I'm over about maybe $15,000 invested so far on everything and all the parts that I have here. So we'll see. Honestly, it's very interesting. This is something that I think could be lucrative, but we'll see as time goes on. Okay, and then finally, I think the last thing is, I guess, cables, the PCIe cables needed for the GPUs in these types of servers. So depending what GPUs you're gonna put them in, they're gonna need required adapters, hence why this is what I've been waiting for the past like 2 weeks, and so that's why I haven't been able to get any servers up. And I also just got in infinitecables.com a bunch of the C20s to C13, these cables right here. I ordered a whole bunch of these because I don't have C14 to C19 power cable. So yeah, I needed a whole bunch of these because my PDUs, I wasn't willing to go out and buy new PDUs, but majority of my PDUs don't have the C20 end, okay? So I can't put them, these two PDUs, I do have some C20, but only 2, right? I don't really have enough. So I can only put maybe 3 servers on each PDU. That'll give me 9 servers. But also depends on the power capacity, right? Depends on the power consumption that, some of these servers are. But I showed you guys earlier in the beginning, my SimplePod.ai rigs, the people who are renting them are actually using them for some type of, AI or simulation compute workload. And they're barely using that much power. So I hope I can get more of those renters, then I'll have a bit more power capacity, and I don't have to worry about, things burning up, heating up. I do have an exhaust fan, right? That's another thing people need to worry about, having an exhaust fan. I do have a new one under there, haven't put it in yet. I know, guys, I know. Guys, just hear my voice right now. You know, I have so many things going on. I know I feel like I'm sounding like a broken record, but anyway, I have no excuse. Okay, guys, I think that's it for this video. Yeah, it's ultimately, I'm gonna say it's not easy to get into this whole thing. Requires a lot of money and a lot of upfront cost, a lot of capital to get into something like this. But I'm taking you guys along the journey and we'll see how it goes. So let me know your guys' thoughts. I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good one. Peace out. Peace out. Okay, I have my GoPro. I'm gonna start building this second server. I need to do BIOS update, BMC update, change the processors, add in the RAM, add in the GPUs, turn it on, get the SimplePod.ai burned on the hard drive, and go to town and get it all up in there, up and running. So, okay guys, peace. Oh, so much work, seriously. Still storing your crypto on exchanges? That's risky. This is the Red Panda Tangem card. Simple, secure, and built for real self-custody. No seed phrases, no complicated setups. Just tap your card, manage your crypto, and you're in control instantly. Secure chip technology keeps your assets protected, even offline. I've tested a lot of hardware wallets, and this is by far one of the easiest ways to get started. If you want true ownership of your crypto, check out the Red Panda Tangem card below. Simple, secure, self-custody. Use code RPM for another 10% off. Link in the video description below.